Last summer, I completely ruined a backyard party trying to juggle a cheap gas grill and a leaky offset smoker. The burgers burned, the brisket was tough, and I spent the whole day stressed instead of hanging out with my friends. Finding a combo grill that actually does it all without compromising flavor or convenience feels impossible. But after months of testing the most hyped models on the market, I finally found the ultimate solution to replace your entire outdoor cooking setup. Stay tuned to see which combo grill completely transformed my backyard BBQ game. 7. Char-Griller Texas Trio. When I first got the Char-Griller, I was excited about having gas, charcoal, and an offset smoker in one footprint. Firing up the independent gas burners for a quick dinner while saving the charcoal chamber for Sunday smoking sounded perfect. I loaded the gas side with pork chops, and it reached searing temperatures fast, putting decent marks on the meat and proving itself as a capable everyday cooker for those busy weeknights when you just need to get dinner on the table quickly. However, as I spent more time testing, the romanticized idea faded. During a brisket smoke, I battled temperature swings in the main chamber. The thin metal construction struggles with heat retention, especially when a breeze rolls through. I had to feed the firebox frequently just to maintain 250 degrees, turning a relaxing smoke into a chore that kept me tethered to the patio when I really just wanted to head inside and watch the game. Another issue during testing was the difficulty of keeping the unit clean. Ash management in the side firebox is cumbersome, often resulting in soot blowing around my patio. Additionally, the assembly process was an absolute nightmare, taking over 3 hours with misaligned bolt holes causing a lot of unnecessary frustration right out of the box. While having 3 distinct cooking methods on one cart is incredibly nice in theory, the execution here feels like a massive compromise on all fronts. Ultimately, the Char-Griller Texas Trio sits at the bottom because it tries to be a jack of all trades but masters none. If you live in a windless climate and don't mind babysitting your smoker, you might find value in the massive cooking area. 6. Searwood 600. Firing it up for the first time, I was impressed by the digital interface and the Weber Connect app, making temperature adjustments highly intuitive. I tossed on a few racks of baby back ribs, and the Searwood maintained a flawless, consistent heat over 6 hours, yielding a wonderfully tender bite with almost zero manual intervention required on my part. But a combo grill needs to excel at more than baking, and the primary hook here is direct flame searing. When I cranked the dial to 600 degrees for reverse seared ribeyes, the reality was slightly underwhelming compared to a dedicated gas grill. The high heat is highly concentrated in the center, creating uneven cooking zones that force me to constantly shuffle the steaks around to avoid overcooking the edges while waiting for the center of the meat to develop a proper crust. I also encountered frustrating limitations with the physical design during my testing phase. The pellet hopper felt surprisingly small when I attempted an overnight pork shoulder smoke, forcing me to set an early morning alarm just to refill it and ensure the fire wouldn't die out. Furthermore, despite its premium price tag, the grill lacks the robust flavor profile of real hardwood chunks, leaving smoked meats tasting a bit too subtle and one-dimensional for my personal barbecue preference. The Weber Searwood 600 is undeniably a well-built, technologically advanced machine that handles basic grilling tasks with impressive reliability. However, placing it at number 6 feels appropriate because relying solely on wood pellets inherently limits its true versatility as a combo unit. 5. Camp Chef Woodwind PRO Wi-Fi 36. The Woodwind PRO Wi-Fi represents a massive leap forward in the pellet market, quickly proving its worth during my intense testing sessions. What truly sets this unit apart is the newly designed smoke box. Unlike traditional pellet grills that struggle with deep flavor, this feature allows you to add real wood chunks or chuckle directly over the fire pot. Smoking a massive prime brisket on this rig produced a beautifully complex, dark bark that easily rivaled the output of a traditional stick burner. The build quality is immediately apparent the second you open the lid, featuring heavy-duty stainless steel components and a remarkably well-insulated cooking chamber. I tested it during a surprisingly chilly and rainy afternoon, and the PID controller didn't flinch, holding target temperatures perfectly with minimal variance. The Wi-Fi connectivity and app are incredibly robust, allowing me to monitor multiple meat probes while sitting on my couch effortlessly, making the entire cooking process feel incredibly professional and entirely stress-free. When it comes to the grilling side, the Woodwind PRO features slide and grill technology that pulls back the heat deflector, exposing your food to direct flames. I used this feature to char up fajita vegetables and skirt steak, and the results were absolutely phenomenal. The immediate access to the open fire allowed me to get a perfect, ballisted texture and a beautiful Maillard reaction on the beef, completely shattering the myth that modern pellet grills cannot sear effectively. This grill is an absolute joy to use from start to finish, including the incredibly simple ash clean-out system that saves so much time after a long cook. The Camp Chef Woodwind PRO successfully bridges the gap between pellet convenience and authentic wood smoking flavor. 4. Oklahoma Joe's Canyon. This massive unit seamlessly integrates a high-performance 3-burner propane grill with a dedicated charcoal chamber, giving you absolute freedom to choose your cooking method. I started my evaluation testing the gas side on a busy Wednesday evening. The heavy cast iron grate heated beautifully, providing excellent heat distribution and perfect grill marks on my burgers in just a few minutes. But the magic truly happens when you transition over to the charcoal side of the canyon. The adjustable charcoal tray crank is incredibly smooth, allowing me to fine-tune the distance between the hot coals and the food with absolute precision. I loaded it with premium lump charcoal and hickory chunks to smoke a beautiful rack of lamb. By lowering the fire tray, I maintained a perfect low and slow environment effortlessly, bathing the meat in a steady stream of clean, blue smoke. What I particularly loved during my time at the canyon was how easily it accommodates large neighborhood gatherings. With its massive total cooking area, I roasted a whole chicken on the charcoal side while simultaneously searing off a batch of fresh asparagus and zucchini on the gas side. The solid construction and high-quality temperature gauges ensure accuracy, while the dual grease management and ash collection systems make the dreaded post-party cleanup surprisingly manageable and mess-free. The Oklahoma Joe's Canyon is a true backyard powerhouse that adamantly refuses to compromise on either the gas or charcoal experience. It offers a deeply authentic, hands-on cooking experience for those weekends when you want to play with fire, alongside the instant gratification of propane for busy weeknights. It proudly claims the number 4 spot for its rock-solid reliability, exceptional heat control, and the pure, unadulterated joy it brings back to the traditional outdoor cooking experience. 3. Gravity Series 800. The Masterbuilt completely redefines what a combo grill can be, offering an experience that is technologically brilliant while remaining deeply rooted in traditional flavor. The heart of this machine is its gravity-fed charcoal hopper, holding enough briquettes to run for over 10 hours continuously. I simply loaded the hopper, lit a fire starter, and set the digital panel to 250 degrees. Within 15 minutes, the onboard fan had stoked the coals perfectly without any manual fanning. The absolute game changer with the 800 model, and the primary reason it scores so incredibly high on this list, is the included interchangeable griddle insert. Swapping out the standard cast iron grates for the heavy flat top took me less than 2 minutes. I cranked the digital controller up to 500 degrees, turning the griddle into a scorching hot cooking surface. I spent a Saturday morning cooking a massive diner-style breakfast, all infused with an incredible, subtle charcoal flavor. The sheer versatility extends even further when you consider how well it handles traditional high-heat grilling. After removing the griddle and replacing the grates, I tested the grill's maximum temperature, blasting past 700 degrees effortlessly. Searing thick-cut tomahawk steaks on this beast was an absolute dream. The flames licked the meat perfectly, creating an unmatched crust while locking in juices. The automated digital fan control ensures that charcoal burns evenly and efficiently no matter the temperature. Masterbuilt has created something truly special with the Gravity Series 800. It beautifully marries the set-it-and-forget-it convenience of a pellet grill with the superior temperature range and unmatched flavor profile of real charcoal. 2. Memphis Ultimate Combo Grill. If you are looking for the absolute most versatile piece of equipment you can possibly put in your backyard, the Pit Boss Memphis Ultimate Combo Grill is a masterpiece. This towering 4-in-1 behemoth combines a gas grill, a charcoal grill, and a glass-doored electric smoker, all cleverly integrated into one sturdy cart. Firing up the 3-burner gas side for a neighborhood cookout, I was blown away by the massive heat output, effortlessly handling dozens of burgers without breaking a sweat. The charcoal side is equally impressive, featuring a heavy-duty, adjustable charcoal grate with 6 different height settings. I love getting the hot coals right up against the flank steak for a fast, aggressive sear, then dropping the fire down to roast the meat gently. The true genius lies in its ability to channel the smoke from the lower electric smoker directly into the upper cooking chambers. I use this specific feature to cold smoke fresh salmon to absolute perfection. Testing the lower electric smoker independently was also a massive revelation. The large glass door allowed me to closely monitor a beautiful rack of spare ribs without constantly opening the chamber and losing precious heat and smoke. The analog controls are straightforward and reliable, generating a steady stream of smoke that permeated the meat beautifully. Having the ability to bake, roast, and smoke in the bottom chamber while simultaneously grilling a massive feast up top is absolutely incredible. The Pit Boss Memphis Ultimate is a veritable backyard culinary fortress. The ability to use gas, charcoal, and electric smoking independently or combine them to create entirely unique cooking environments is something no other grill on the market replicates so well. 1. Pit Boss DX. This marvel of engineering brings together the 2 most popular outdoor cooking methods, wood pellet smoking and liquid propane grilling, into one perfectly harmonious unit. Starting with the pellet side to tackle a massive pack of brisket, the advanced digital control board maintained incredibly tight temperature tolerances throughout a grueling 14-hour overnight cook, producing a profound smoke ring and a beautiful mahogany bark. While the brisket was resting, I turned my attention to the propane side of the DX to prepare some side dishes and appetizers, and the transition was completely seamless. The gas side features heavy-duty stainless steel burners that heat the thick cast iron grates evenly from edge to edge. I aggressively seared off bacon-wrapped jalapeno poppers and grilled a massive batch of corn in mere minutes. The convenience of having instant, high-heat propane cooking right next to your smoker is truly life-changing. What truly pushes the Pit Boss DX to the #1 spot is the meticulous attention to detail and user-centric design. Both cooking chambers are incredibly spacious, giving you an unprecedented amount of total cooking area to work with. Pit Boss also thoughtfully included their famous flame broiler lever on the pellet side, allowing for direct flame searing over the fire pot, giving you yet another fantastic way to achieve the perfect crust on your premium steak cuts. The Pit Boss DX is the undisputed king of combo grills because it absolutely refuses to compromise on either side of the equation. It is a top-tier pellet smoker that easily rivals dedicated smoking units and an exceptionally powerful gas grill that can handle any weeknight dinner rush effortlessly.